The War for Mansoul by John Bunyan, as told by Ethel Barrett. Copyright 1998, Christian Light Publications Incorporated, Harrisonburg, Virginia. Defeat of the Diabolans. Will leaped through the air and landed on two Salvation Doubters, knocking them to the ground and running them through with his sword. Then he sprang back and took on all comers, and his blows were like the blows of a giant. The doubters hit the dust before him as he cut and battered shrewdly with deadly accuracy. Faith leapt upon them too, helping Will put them into disorder. But as one doubter fell, three more sprang to take his place, for Diabolus had surrounded himself with protection. A few feet away, Captain Goodhelp fell upon the Vocation Doubters, but they were sturdy men, but he slashed them to bits. The plain was alive with fighting now. This was a do-or-die battle. Everyone sensed it, from Captain Faith down to the weakest Mansoulian, and from Diabolus and his warlords down to the puniest and meanest doubter. Everyone was in it. The doubters were in an uproar. Swords were flashing in the sun, and slings were coming from the distant castle battlements too, for Lord High Secretary was far from idle. He had commanded that the slings from the castle should be played, and his men could aim their ammunition to shave the hair off a doubter or slice him up with equal ease. The battle raged on, each side advancing and retreating in turn. Each time the Mansoulian army was forced to retreat, it would rally and come back for more with the battle cry, "The sword of Emmanuel and the shield of Captain Faith." But as the day wore on and the battle waxed hotter, the weariness came, and finally utter confusion. Slings, arrows, shouts of victory, captain torment, admonitions of courage, whispers, perseverance doubters, swords flashing, joy doubters, Lord we will be wills wounded. It's his leg, only his leg, Captain Insatiable. Slings from the castle. Retreat, retreat, just a little, give some ground. Faith, Faith, where's Captain Faith? Moans of pain. Will be will, just a scratch. It's his bad leg. He was already limping at that leg anyhow. Another wound won't matter. Dust and smoke. Rest a bit. Patch up the wounded. Give them first aid. Grace doubters, swords flashing. He would gladly lose his leg to see his prince again. The din is terrible. Salvation doubters, advance, advance, quit yourselves like men of valor. Emmanuel hasn't come yet. Captain Rage, slings from the castle. Perhaps Shaddai is dead. The gates are broken, the walls are cracked. The streets are dirty, the lights are damaged. A valiant army in the field this day, Mr. Conscience is wounded. You have shown yourselves men of courage. You have answered the challenge. You have come on crutches. You have come in wheelchairs. You were weak and wounded before the battle even started. Mr. Corruption. Oh, our captains are a motley crew, a motley crew, a motley crew. Glory doubters, Lord Understanding can't see too well. It is too late. We've gone too far. We are wounded. We are weak. Who have we but thee, Emmanuel? There is none beside thee. Go into the fight again. Captain Fury. It's the showdown. It's the showdown. Go into the fight again. Oh, Mansoul dear, your strength is gone. Your strength is gone. Your strength is gone. Go into the fight again. Go into the fight again. Go into the fight again. No, there's a retreat on both sides. There's a respite. Don't fight anymore. Don't fight anymore. Don't fight anymore. What did Captain Faith say? We can't hear him. We can't hear him. What did he say? Be still. What does Captain Faith say? Gentlemen, cried Faith through the confusion. Soldiers, and my brothers in his design, I rejoice to see in the field for our prince this day so stout and so valiant an army and such faithful followers of Mansoul. Be still. You have shown yourselves men of courage against the Diabolan forces, so that, for all their boasting, still, for all their boasting, they have not yet much cause to boast of their gettings. Now take the courage you want. It is yours for the taking, and get yourselves back into the fight. For we must make this second assault upon Diabolus, and in a few minutes after the next engagement, this time, you shall see your prince show himself in the field. Even as he spoke, a messenger handed him a message. He read it quickly and shouted, Emmanuel is even now on his way. Oh, the roar that went up. Praise be to Shaddai, who giveth us the victory. It made the Diabolans tremble. Like men raised from the dead, the Mansoulians got ready to charge again. They rose, they advanced, they charged, they spread out, they cried, "The sword of Prince Emmanuel and the shield of Captain Faith!" And then the sound of distant trumpets. And in the heat of the battle, through the smoke and dust, Captain Faith lifted his eyes and saw Prince Emmanuel coming, the colors flying, trumpets sounding, the feet of his men scarcely touching the ground. Diabolus and his warlords saw it too and fled in panic, forsaking their army, leaving them to fall. Faith gave the orders. The Mansoulian army disengaged itself and retreated toward the walls of the town, leaving Diabolus's army the field. Then the giant pincer movement. Prince Emmanuel on one side, Faith on the other, the Diabolans in the middle, squeezed, crushed, smothered. And the two great armies fought their way, slashed their way, prayed their way toward each other until they met there on the plain, the enemy trampled underneath. And the cry went up again, "The sword of Prince Emmanuel and the shield of Captain Faith," and the ground fairly split with the noise of it. Diabolus and his warlords looked back from a distance. Their army of 20,000 dollars with their captains and officers, and an undetermined number of Diabolans that had lived in Mansoul were sprawled in ignominious defeat. From the looks of it, few had escaped. There was no way of telling at the moment. They were spread like dung upon the earth. A shadow spread over the ground in front of the little group. Wings outspread, moving swiftly toward the battlefield. Diabolus watched it for a moment. Then he looked up. It was a vulture.